That would be the Valero Port Arthur refinery, one of the largest in the United States actually. The facility processes roughly 395,000 barrels of crude oil each day. Keep in mind, the Strait of Hormuz right now is effectively closed. Qatar's LNG hub is damaged. Global crude prices are above $100. And the ironic part is that the US literally just authorized sales of not only Iranian but also Russian oil as well, obviously to keep markets from spiraling. But I just want you to think about something when considering these refineries, okay? Residents are now facing not only air quality risks, but also movement restrictions and safety uncertainty. I mean, look at what's happening at all of the airports around the United States right now. There is fear being instilled into every aspect of our society right now. It's called strategic warfare. How do you bring a supposed superpower to its knees? Just keep your eyes on the stock market. I give it about 2 weeks, maybe less.
Patriots, I'm at Restored Republic via a GCR update for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, compiled by Judy Byington. Clintons and Obamas founded ISIS while running child sex trafficking ring. Israel's satanic Zionist regime's fake Jew Luciferians in Rothschild's banking empire. Oncologist warns mRNA vaccines linked to SV40 used to grow tumors. Judy, note, the satanic elite have run the world for ages through blackmail ops, secret societies, and cults. With MKUltra psychological warfare operations and a belief in occult ritualistic practices that involved the torture, sexual abuse, and human sacrifice of children to their god, Satan. Recently, declassified intel has revealed that former U.S. Presidents Clinton and Obama, along with their spouses, not only were Satan worshippers who founded ISIS for the purpose of destroying America, but were using U.S. taxpayer dollars to run a massive international child sex trafficking, child sacrificing, adrenochrome, and organ harvesting ring that blackmailed politicians to do their bidding. Meanwhile, Venezuela's Maduro has openly linked 60 U.S. senators to multi-million-dollar bribe allegations, including voter fraud. These treasonous crimes were on top of everyone's involvement in money laundering U.S. taxpayer monies back into their own pockets. Over 80% of Congress held dual citizenship, betraying America for foreign masters. This fueled replacement agendas, flooding borders with Muslims and illegals, gaining instant passports and voter access, while veterans suffer and New York paid fortunes per migrant to erase white populations. It's no wonder a person like Donald Trump was asked to take on the overwhelming task of the Q plan to save the world. Trump was secretly working hand in hand with Ayatollah, purging the CIA and Mossad terrorists planted inside Iran. The knockout blow against the satanic Zionist regime in Israel was coming fast, and it would end their dark control forever. Fake Jews operating as Luciferians through the Rothschild banking empire now face total exposure. Trump knew that success of that plan to save the world goal depended on the people taking back control of that Luciferian Rothschild banking empire. of the global monetary system, which the Satanist cabal had used for their own evil purposes since at least 1913. The Q victory actually started on Friday, February 20th, 2026, when Congress passed Public Law number 119-1, the Quantum Financial Settlement and Restoration Act. The act provided for the mandatory transition of the fiat U.S. dollar financial structure to the gold asset-backed quantum financial system, QFS, on Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. A month or so later, by Saturday, March 21st, President Trump had secretly dissolved the privately owned since 1913 by Satan-worshipping Illuminati bankers, U.S. Inc., while reestablishing the United States of America as a sovereign constitutional republic under God and common law, by authority of Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution. The reestablishment of the constitutional republic officially ended the Federal Reserve, IRS, and use of admiralty law in the U.S. court system. Foreign rule was no more, all of which was set to be announced by Trump on Sunday, May 17, 2026, after which there would be 45 days of prayer, ending with the Saturday, July 4th, 2026, 150th anniversary celebration of the constitutional republic that has now been reestablished under God. Temporary martial law has been in effect in the U.S. since 2020, with Trump as Commander-in-Chief of the Global Military Alliance. That same martial law will last until new, fair, and free elections could be held. Those free and fair elections would happen in the U.S. within 90 days of Wednesday, April 1st, 2026, release of Nisara Jasara funds to the worldwide general public under the BRICS nations global currency reset. Presently, 10 to 12 days of darkness worldwide was in effect in order for the Global Military Alliance to make millions of mass arrests of treasonous, Satan-worshipping, child trafficking, torturing, and sacrificing bankers, politicians, and global elites. During the worldwide communication darkness, the 209 BRICS nations will switch to the new gold asset-backed quantum financial system, all happening by Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. The world's communication networks were in the process of shutting down, one after another, as the Global Military Alliance temporarily took over all TV, radio, and internet. Be prepared for EBS activation and martial law. 1 million white hat troops stand guard as the EBS Starlink satellite system overrides all signals, cell phones, TV, radio, and internet, asking you to stay home for 10 to 12 days, while Global Military Alliance makes mass arrests across the globe of treasonous, Satan-worshipping deep state. Banks close, ATMs won't work, after which wake up to new and improved financial, political, health, and education systems. Stock up on food, water, cash, and essentials. Reset on Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. The global currency reset ignites the gold-backed quantum financial system in 209 nations. Trump ripped the Fed from the cabal. It's now in the sovereign U.S. Treasury. Nasara fully enacted with no income tax and new 14% sales tax on goods. Deep state melting as military raids their pedophile rings, sending elites to Gitmo. The children are saved at last from these monsters. On Friday, March 27th, 2026, banks begin the QFS transition. Patriots stock food, cash, water, essentials right away. On Friday night, March 27th, 2026, Trump to drop an announcement that will shock the world. President Donald Trump, Tier 4B, ISO 20022 on Telegram. Wednesday, April 1st, 2026, Trump has approved the QFS as the primary financial system. Global activation now targets April 2026. Global activation now targets April 2026. On April 1st, the global currency reset and Nasara laws will activate. Debt forgiveness frees all from slavery. Gold currencies bring prosperity to the people. Each individual will receive texts and emails to notify how to set an appointment at an official redemption center to set up your personal wallet, formerly known as a bank account. You will be given a one-time secure code, instructions for wallet activation, confirmation of debt wipe status, and access to your own sovereign fund dashboard.
Breaking update. President Trump declares the restoration of the American Republic. U.S. Inc. Dissolved. Common law sovereignty returns. JFK. The leader on Telegram. In a stunning and historic declaration that patriots have awaited for years. President Donald J. Trump has officially announced the restoration of the American Republic. The corrupt corporate entity known as U.S. Inc. has been dissolved completely, and in its foreign control over the nation. Common law sovereignty has returned in full, re-establishing the true constitutional republic and freeing the people from decades of tyranny. This monumental move, issued on March 21, 2026, is grounded in the authority of Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution. President Trump has summoned all flag officers of the armed forces, binding them under the Uniform Code of Military Justice to follow the Commander-in-Chief without question. Corrupt civilian channels are bypassed as the military realigns to protect the reborn republic with unwavering loyalty. The fraudulent structure of USINC, created to enslave Americans with debt and endless conflicts, is now defunct. Admiralty law is dead, and the globalist occupation has collapsed. The deep state is legally overthrown as power flows back to we the people. This is the Great Awakening in action, with the White Hats executing the final phase of the plan to secure America's destiny. Patriots across the land are rising up in celebration as the storm arrives in full force. The cabal is in complete panic, their empire of lies crumbling rapidly. With this declaration, the path opens for massive reforms including prosperity distributions and the dismantling of oppressive institutions. Every sovereign citizen will soon experience true freedom and abundance like never before. The Republic stands reborn stronger than ever under President Trump's leadership. No more manipulation by hidden powers. Common law brings justice and liberty for all. The military stands guard to ensure a smooth transition, exposing and bringing to account those who betrayed the nation. This victory belongs to all who fought in the shadows and held the faith. As the news spreads like wildfire among truth seekers, the excitement cannot be contained. The restoration signals the end of the old guard and the dawn of a golden age for America. United patriots must stay vigilant and spread this truth far and wide. The best is yet to come as the Republic thrives once again, delivering on the promises of freedom and sovereignty for generations.
Guru Information and Intel, Monday, March 23rd, Charlie Ward, dire warning. 3.19.26, exposing the whole damn shit storm. Medea Greer, Charlie Ward on Telegram. Charlie Ward has dropped a dire warning that is shaking the very foundations of the evil empire. The entire global system of police, judges, barristers, solicitors, and the intelligence agencies stands exposed as one massive criminal network, protecting the worst pedophiles at the highest levels of power. A retired police commissioner handed over a shocking dossier naming 350 serving UK Parliament members deep in pedophilia. It went straight to Trump's team years ago. They already had it and waited for the perfect moment. These monsters faced secret military tribunals back in 2021 and 2022 during the lockdowns, when it was easy to round them up. Now we watch actors and clones play their roles in public, including Prince Andrew, all to gently wake the sleeping masses without panic. The royal family was crumbling before our eyes. King Charles, tied forever to Jimmy Savile, has been stripped of almost every title, while the clones glitch on camera to jolt everyone awake. Police forces run as private profit companies, splitting fines with corrupt officials instead of protecting citizens. Trump's white hats infiltrated the UK system nearly 10 years ago, mapping every good cop against the rotten tops. Grooming gangs and elite child trafficking rings involving politicians and judges were shielded until the real bosses fell. Patriots' whole nightmare unfolds as one giant movie pantomime for the public to finally see. Sit back with your popcorn because the final act is here. The Ayatollah works hand in hand with Trump, purging the CIA and Mossad terrorists planted inside Iran. The knockout blow against the satanic Zionist regime in Israel is coming fast, and it will end their dark control forever. Fake Jews operating as Luciferians through the Rothschild banking empire face total exposure right now. Disney tunnels, Branson networks, Epstein Islands, and Madeleine McCann files all hide the same horror: child sacrifice, adrenochrome harvesting, and ritual abuse on a scale that will make you sick. Michael Jackson built Neverland as a safe haven to protect kids from these monsters, and they destroyed him for it. Light is flooding every dark corner. The Great Awakening surges stronger than ever. QAnons. The White Hats already secured victory years ago. Justice for every stolen child arrives swiftly. The storm rages, but we triumph. Gold-backed systems will smash the banker enslavement once and for all. Everything turns out more than all right. God and the Patriots win. The cabal is finished.
Trump's 5D chess masterstroke. SG anomalies bear the total annihilation of the cabal's oil empire in Iran, sparking the final deep state collapse. 10 Days of Darkness on Telegram. SG Anon recently teamed up with Nino for a hard-hitting analysis of the explosive situation in the Middle East. Iranian oil installations, including the critical South Pars gas field, have suffered direct hits, leading to warnings of oil prices surging to extreme highs. At the same time, mounting evidence points to Benjamin Netanyahu being removed from power, with the deep state scrambling to spread lies and confusion. These targeted actions are obliterating the Rockefeller, Rothschild, CIA-controlled energy networks
rather than short-term economic reactions. A strategic reset, this approach signals a broader shift in U.S. military and foreign policy strategy, reducing prolonged commitments while maintaining decisive high-impact operations. Rather than extended presence, the focus appears to be rapid objective completion, limited long-term entanglement, and then rebalancing global responsibility. Final take, Iran's military capabilities are significantly degraded. U.S. objectives are nearing completion. A transition phase is beginning. The message is clear. The operation is approaching its end, and the strategy beyond it is already being defined.
Fox News alert, the United States and the Iranians are now talking.
Based on preliminary conversations between the United States and Iran over the past 2 days, I've directed the Department of War to temporarily postpone planned strikes against major energy and electricity targets in Iran. We're giving it 5 days, and then we're going to see where that takes us. And I would say at the end of this period, I think it could very well end up being a very good deal for everybody.
The president's giving the mullahs a lifeline, but warning them, don't blow it.
If it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
5 days from now is Friday night. The markets will be closed all weekend. That's when Trump likes to act. And that's when the USS Tripoli, along with 2,000 Marines, will be arriving in theater. Right behind it, the USS Boxer, our amphibious assault ship carrying 4,500 sailors and Marines. A source says those Marines aren't coming for decoration. They're bringing an infantry battalion team backed by choppers, F-35s, and armored landing vehicles. It's en route from San Diego. On top of that, elements of the 82nd Airborne have just been seen arriving in the Gulf as the Pentagon weighs options for Karg Island, Iran's crown jewel. More on that later. Iran's running out of cards. Its Navy's underwater, and we've been pounding their defense industrial base. These are kamikaze drone and missile manufacturing plants getting decimated. Here's a before and after shot of the regime's ballistic missile production facility, blown to bits. They haven't cried uncle yet, but the president says talks are positive.